All right, welcome back, guys. This is Sport Zone. Thanks for joining us and for staying with us. Very grateful for your time. We are on till 10:30 p.m., so it's quite a long time talking sport. Thanks to our sponsors, Piva Beverages, one of them, Piva, producers of this lovely bottle of water, as well as the Piva Tangi and all the other range coming through. Syntex, thanks as well. Guinness and then Kivo. Switch off a flavor stream and Dan Ekranting are here, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I love that you're both wearing vests. It's like petticoats, or what do they call them? It's like you had your own little club, a little memo.
And those on
Hi,
TV.
I'm going to wear a vest today. And then he says, yeah, me too, I'm going to wear a vest. And then the two of you wore a vest and you came here. I'm wearing a suit and a tie. Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. All good?
You
weren't here last week.
I should be asking you the question.
You weren't here last week. Chicho, he wasn't
No, but
here.
are you okay? I think
You were not here last week.
I'm very well.
You pretended he was sick. Tuesday, he was jumping everywhere. He could have just asked for an extra day of the weekend to spend with his wife, and I would have granted it.
Who says it was pretense?
He said he was unwell.
Yes.
Then he went to the hospital, and the doctor said there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, it hasn't happened to you before.
Why, the doctor no
No,
What are you saying?
I'm saying that your body can feel unwell,
Yes.
but medically they can't tell you what is wrong with you.
Yeah, you're saying that they are working him spiritually.
And also,
Oh, God, guys. Bring the guys in now on the matches that we've shown you. First up with Arsenal situation. Derek, only the right place for me to start. Your frustrations with Mikel Arteta. Last week, he seemed to have found a solution in Merino. It was a big gamble, paid off, came off the bench, scored 2 goals. Bam, and people thought he's found his magic one. Then they host West Ham, who haven't necessarily been brilliant. They've had a new manager. Seems like they're going through a bit of a transition. Arsenal were expected to win this, at least put some pressure on Liverpool, and then they lost the way they did. I mean, where do Arsenal go from here?
First of all, last week was a big alarm. They were facing probably the worst defensive team in the Premier League, a team that has conceded the most chances. Yet they struggled to create, and it took Merino coming off the bench, 1 good header. And the second goal was in transition when Leicester City had pushed men forward. So it was a big alarm, and it's been coming. Arsenal a bit too predictable. It's getting a bit easy to defend against this team because they are very horizontal. They pass the ball from side to side, waiting for that patient opening. If you are playing against a team that is disciplined and defends well, who will not be swayed by your passing, then it's basically very easy to defend against. And another thing most people aren't talking about is how poor their defense, poor in quotes, as compared to last season. Arsenal are a bit easier to score now. They are very susceptible to transitions. Last season, their rest defense was on point. Even when you pick the ball off them, try to spring up counter-attacks, they had players almost everywhere, or the positioning of the defensive players at rest defense, obviously, was impeccable. So then they will clean up the danger even before it happens. But this time around, it's there for the taking. We saw it earlier in the season. I think when we faced Leicester City, they were leading 2-0. Leicester, 2 counter-attacks. It was 2-2, and then Arsenal went on to win the game. But the signs have been there. And for me, at the start of the season, when we spoke about the strength of this Arsenal squad, the different profiles of players that they had, I thought it would translate into unpredictability. The ability to try different things at different times. It's not every time you need to go from side to side. Sometimes you can be direct because you have players on the bench who can give you that. But Arteta's insistence on his style, and to be frank, this is something we've seen. The Premier League has now seen. This is a third season in a row the Premier League is seeing this style. This very slow build-up style.
Patient.
Teams will get used to it. Teams will form strategies to be able to counter it. And especially when you are in a situation where you don't have that target man, center man in the back or center forward in front there to hit balls to, it's always going to be difficult. And for me, it was a very simply executed game plan by West Ham United. And on the basis of they deserve to win the game. I don't even think Arsenal deserve to draw.
Sicho, we've had issues with, well, not us per se. He has. Mohamed Kudus has had issues this season in terms of trying to find a good, consistent form. Against Arsenal, he came alive. There's this trending video of him versus Partey, the way he handles, protects the ball. He was the man to watch.
Yeah, I told you, I mean, it was a fantastic play on the day. He was unplayable. Gabriel for Arsenal is one of the strongest, or he is one of the strongest defenders in the Premier League. I thought Kudus handled him brilliantly. He bumped into him. Gabriel just couldn't get anything on Kudus. Everybody who came up against Kudus lost. His ability to hold on to the ball and show great strength and weave through was brilliant. But I think the way the game was played by Arsenal and also by West Ham did suit him a little because he always had the space. And that's largely because Arsenal were going to throw some bodies forward and West Ham were going to sit back. And he was one of those players who would get into the space to be an out ball. So he had a lot of space to really think about what he wanted to do. But when the ball got to him, the decision that he made in trying to hold up the ball to get others to come to support him was brilliant. And I think that everybody in that West Ham shirt did play a part in that game. I thought Alvarez was brilliant on the day. Gerard Bowen, as always, when he plays Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the back line was strong for them as well. Arsenal looked a bit lethargic in the game, and West Ham did punish them for them. I feel sorry for Mohamed Kudus because this season has been very difficult for almost every West Ham player. There isn't one West Ham.
Said that.
Yeah, there isn't one West Ham player who can say that in the midst of all this chaotic season that they've had or substandard season that they had compared to where they left off from last season, there isn't one player who can say that he has been himself. Even Gerard Bowen has such moments where he struggled either with injuries or form. And Kudus has been caught in the midst of all of this. So I'm not going to single him out and say everybody's playing well. Paquetá is playing well, Bowen is playing well, Samuel is doing well.
He's just poor.
And he's just poor. It's just a matter of a team that has struggled this season and that has had a ripple effect on him. But maybe he himself would look at himself and think that the aspects of his game he would want to do a lot better. But when you look at that Arsenal game as it was, he was just brilliant. And I think that he can kick on from there.
Talk to me about Manchester United and what's going on there. Obviously, last weekend we spoke about them. They lost rather disappointingly. In this game, it looked dead certain that United were going to lose. Then they showed some character and some fight in that second half. Amorim would have been encouraged by what he saw, no?
No. The result has a way of giving you a spark, but I'm not sure performance generally is anything that will give us an indication that United are back on the right track or United are doing something different for what you've seen. I think that once Everton got that 2-goal lead, that was also their own undoing. At some point, they stopped risking. But in that first half, anytime they risked or committed bodies, United struggled. But they stopped doing a lot of that in the second half. United got out of the ball in the Everton half. And even that, it took United had to score from those moments, from Bruno Fernandes' brilliant free kick, and then from another set piece, and Ugarte scored a brilliant goal. But when it comes to United playing as a team and carving out chances, creating chances, breaking down that Everton defense, we saw nothing of that sort.
Yeah.
United is not always going to go on and score free kicks. They're not always going to go on and get the Ugarte goal. So even though he would take the result, it's not a defeat, it's a draw. The performance isn't something that he can lean on and claim that maybe there are signs that the team is back. The team struggled in many parts of the game. In midfield, they really struggled. The three centre-backs really struggled in the game. Delete, Harry Maguire, they really struggled in that game. The full-backs or the wing-backs provided nothing as far as attacking threats were concerned. Dalot couldn't put in one cross. Dogu put in 4 crosses to nobody. Some close to the goalkeeper, some to nobody. And the attackers, Hoyle and Zirkzee, they struggle. So I think it's one of those results that Amorim himself would think that they are getting away with it. I thought on the day maybe Everton deserved it even a bit more. They could have had a penalty in the game. It wasn't to be. But Everton would not. Had Everton maybe then kept on playing like they did in that first half, it could have been 3-0 against Manchester United. But they will take the result. It's not defeat. But I'm not thinking they'll be thinking that they are back on track or something positive is happening. It was still a very bad performance.
Ben, I don't know if you have that penalty incident. I wanted to ask Daniel about it. There was a lot of controversy about whether or not the decision should have stood. And then the controversy even goes on to talk about more or less the angle that the referee was shown, instead of which angle he should have been shown or which additional angle he should have been shown, that sort of thing. Sicho says he believes that United probably should have lost that game per their performances. But again, VAR and centre over. Initially, I thought it was a drive. It was a dive. Per the angle that was shown the referee, you could see that it looked like it was a dive. And I was even calling for a second yellow card for Ashley Young. that in that situation. What do you make of that particular incident?
Was interesting, and again, this just shows the very interesting use of VAR. So my question is, why were they showing the referee the angle that opposed what he called for?
Yeah.
Because he knows what he saw, and then he called for it. Then you show him a certain angle, one, that is contrary to what he saw. Why don't you show him other angles and reach the majority? Because he saw something, and he was positive he saw something, so he gives it. They are saying, maybe you should look at this angle. Okay, I've seen this angle. What about what I saw again, so that I'm sure? What about another angle and another angle? But to show him one angle, because now it's 1 against 1. One shows it was a clear penalty. One shows it wasn't a penalty. So why do you pick? What authority do you have to pick the one that shows it wasn't a penalty? That's what I don't understand. And again, from the body language of the Everton players, Ashley Young, you could clear. He knows he felt contact. It was clear. So it's a penalty. And there are multiple angles that show contact. Just one doesn't show contact. So why do you show the referee just that one angle that doesn't show contact? And based on that, make a decision. That's why I really don't understand these days. Because, again, you can go back to the Wolves and Arsenal game when Lewis Kelly was sent off. There was one angle that appears like he has his foot on him.
Yeah.
All other angles show that it was just basically a trip. Yeah. So why do you fix it on the one angle? Why don't you, if you are, and it's contrary to what we are seeing, because with the Man U game, ref has seen something. He has called for it, and you are showing the opposite. But the Wolves game, the ref has seen something, and you are showing him what he saw. They didn't even show it to him. They show the angle that the ref saw, and based on that, they make a decision. Why don't you look all around and then reach a decision? Okay, fine. There are 3 angles that is showing contact. There's one angle that is showing no contact. Majority carries voice. Common sense. Why would we pick one?
And in the box, there were 2 shirt pulls. There was one, the initial one from delayed. Then Maguire also pulled Ashley Young's shirt. And I thought it was a foul. In the box is a pen. But again, this is where I don't think the referee made a mistake to call that a penalty. That was a very subjective call. Another referee sees and thinks that is not a pen. But for VAR to call the referee to go and have a look, it's re-refereeing it.
Yeah.
And they've consistently said they don't want VAR to re-referee game, but that is clearly refereeing, especially if you're not giving the referee the best angles of the incident and you are sticking to an angle that tells your narrative from the VAR. Because I see it from different angles, I'm thinking, even from the real-time game, from what I saw first time, I'm thinking, that is a pen. Yeah. That is a pen. Then you show it's in an angle from VAR that tells a different story. It looks like the contact is not massive and it's nothing. But there are better angles to it that could have given the referee the clearest picture of the incident. And I thought that was VAR re-refereeing the game and United got away with it.
But let's talk about this team, Chelsea Football Club. Sicho says he has come out of retirement or wants to come out of retirement.
No, I didn't say I want to come out of retirement.
Talk about Chelsea.
He's lying.
Listen,
you're lying.
Chelsea's problems, last week, Rahman did a brilliant diagnosis of Chelsea's problems. But then we saw it again this week. They changed the goalkeeper. A new one comes saying it's worse than the one that was there before. It just keeps getting worse. Now Jackson is injured. There is no Lavia. The midfield looks weak. They don't seem to have an attack. It's all over the place.
Well, what I'm going to say is, a couple of games before Lavia got injured and when he was playing, Chelsea was still not playing great.
Yes.
Months or 2 months before Jackson got injured, Chelsea were not scoring. He wasn't scoring. He had gone games without scoring. And Chelsea were not playing well. So the very recent narrative that, there's no Lavia, there's no Jackson, it's so inaccurate because when Jackson was available...
Even when he went on a dry run.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He went on 2 months. So people want to make it a recent narrative that, the injury to Jackson, the injury to Lavia. That is not the case. The case is, Chelsea have got a very talented group of young players who, it is very normal in football terms, and Danny has always said this, that there are going to be times in the season where experience would matter.
Yeah.
There are going to be times in the season where you lose a game that you need some leaders in the dressing room to pull you up and give you the confidence. When you look around that Chelsea squad, and if you look at the manager who is inexperienced, you wonder who is going to drag them out of the pit in which they find themselves. Because all around the team, they are talented. But there's something Chelsea have also gone on and done. Chelsea have come out of the January transfer market with a much weakened team than the one they went into the transfer with.
Into the season with.
Yeah. Very similar to what Man United did. Because when you look at Chelsea's bench now and the options the manager has got to throw onto the pitch, he's virtually got nothing.
Yeah.
But they went on to push Renato Vieira out of the club on loan. They went on to push...
And he's having a phenomenal...
So Joao Felix is going to Milan. He has his own issues. But the point is, they brought him in. Why was Joao Felix on their books anyway if they thought that after 6 months, it wasn't going to be good?
He was signed for big money.
And how do you just make a judgment on a player
6 months.
after 6 months? And that is for a player who doesn't play enough. Vieira the same, Joao Felix the same. And maybe something has come back to haunt or bite Maresca. There's something about team cohesion and winning the momentum that keeps the squad going, yeah? He had 2 separate teams. One playing the Conference League and maybe Cups. One play in the league. Now, on the outside, the football fan thinks the team has won. It's a great feeling. But those who are playing the league are not involved in that victory, so it doesn't necessarily carry the confidence for them. You didn't play in it. You didn't score the goals. You didn't win those tackles. You didn't keep that clean sheet. So it's not a confident booster for Sanchez. It's not a confident booster for Nicholas Jackson. He's not scoring the goals. It's for the other players. So you've got 2 separate teams playing in the competition. That is not necessarily good for momentum for a squad as young as Chelsea's team. And now that those games, they are out of the cup, the Carabao Cup, the Conference League hasn't been played for over a month.
Out of the FA Cup.
Out of the FA Cup, the Conference League hasn't been played for close to a month. You wonder if the players who were playing in these cup games are sharp enough to straight away come back into the team and give him a result. And the answer has been no. Ultimately, Maresca has been found out. And I told you, the Premier League is high quality. Tactical heads are working, coaches are working, their analysts are working. And when you start playing well and you are the team to watch, when you start playing well and you're causing havoc, they'll find you out. The question would be if you've got what it takes to tweak something and give them something else to think about. And as it stands, I don't think he has the answers. And again, it goes back to Chelsea's investment. I would never understand how any business is able to spend over 1.3 billion in the space of 18 months and go in and complain about not having a good goalkeeper, go in and complain about midfield options, go in and complain about a striker when only one striker is injured. For me, it doesn't really make sense. Chelsea's hierarchy just are messing around.
Danny K's friend is also injured.
Magui.
Madueke is also injured. Well, you've got something to say about Chelsea. I wanted to read some messages and then we talk about the Liverpool-Man City game.
No, what Situation says is absolutely right. It's a serious problem, and it started from the beginning when the owners came in. The decision to wipe out the existing team and buy a new one.
With that experience.
It just didn't make sense, and it still doesn't make sense. And if you're a Chelsea fan, you see, fans are supposed to support everything. In fact, that's the mindset. They're supposed
unconditional.
Unconditional, yeah. You can love something but criticize it. It didn't make sense. The players that were shipped out didn't need to be shipped out. Mendy was the best keeper in the world as at the time he was leaving Chelsea. He didn't have to leave.
Yeah.
He didn't have to leave for a group of young, inexperienced goalkeepers.
They've got 8 players on their books, and they got goalkeeping problems.
Look, this is a team that won the Champions League in 2021. So that's just 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden...
And this project is in its second year, so it means that they ship them out...
It's in its third year. It's a third year.
It's in its third year.
Third year. So it means they ship them out immediately
straight after the Champions League.
The season after that they finished, then they just got rid of them.
Everybody.
That's crazy,
It's terrible.
I've got some messages here. This one says, good evening, friend. I miss Karim on the show. My darling Chelsea owners need to step up, the point Daniel just made. The current performance can't keep good players like Palmer. They need to look into their project. Friend, you know what? I visited Tumu for the first time last week. Must I try and visit Tumu? Aisha, thanks for the wonderful reception. I'll come back soon.
Aisha.
Remember this message from last week? Right? The same guy. Okay, Aisha, I don't know what you did for this guy, but when he comes back, don't do it again.
Oh, wow. Something that keeps bringing the person back, you shouldn't do it again.
But this guy...
Oh, but you...
He didn't add his name to the message.
Yeah.
No, don't add your name. This kind of message.
He didn't add his name.
Add guy.
Muhammad Shaibu, maybe added his name, but I didn't say it. Muhammad Shaibu Mohammed from Tamale says, good evening, friend. My regards to all your panelists. Chelsea will get better and better soon. Please warn Karim for me. My girlfriend is crashing on him. She said she likes his gentle guys like him.
That's what gentle guys
like Karim.
But how can you watch this thing and think Karim is gentle? Like, I don't get it. Karim
Did you say
gentle.
this thing?
How can you watch him over there, that thing that he's doing over there, and tell me Karim is gentle?
So it is Karim not gentle?
Oh, God.
That is my brother. I'm not going to.
Barnabas from Boku says, please greet Karim for me.
Charlie, what's going on?
What is going on? Why is Karim taking all the fans?
Star of the show.
He's in the control room.
I don't understand this.
He's in the control room.
He not the message.
Are you sure all these messages are from
like 6 numbers?
Because I don't understand this. Hi, I am Barnabas, watching you live from Boku. Please greet Karim for me and keep up your good work. And also, Liverpool's win over Man City is a warning to Mikel Arteta and his boys. All right, interesting. I swear if I get one more message about Karim, I will shut this message box down. This one says Chelsea are struggling because they don't have any experienced players in all departments of the field. Exactly the point that the guys just made. In attack, the players have no one to learn from. In defense, too, the same thing, and that's really letting the team down. I think they have to get some experienced players in, and not potential ones. This is Saint from Kaswa. Thank you. Jacob School, the safe boy in Year G, says, what is really yours, nobody can take from you. The league is for Liverpool, and there's no two ways about that. I will honorably urge you, Mr. Fentu, and your guys over there to join with the Liverpool fans so that you'll be happy always. Let's cause some small trouble. Mr. Danike, you got married not all that long ago, and I would like you to share your feeling about marriage. I want to get married, and there is usually a saying that experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, Mr. Danike. I come in peace. Good night to you all. I love you all.
It's the best thing you can do in this life.
Tell him.
If I knew, I would have done it 10 years ago.
Thank you.
Somebody should have told me early. So quick. If you found the right woman,
yes,
don't waste time.
Thank you.
Quick.
All right. A word to a wise.
It's enough.
Thank you. Pacino says, this Jamie Carragher guy, Champions League has saved some people. If it wasn't for the Champions League, this man wouldn't be talking. The funny thing is that he's forgotten that his time at Liverpool was the worst era Liverpool had ever had in their history. You, Jamie Carragher, even Jackie Chan, did you see the ball he played against Liverpool? It was fantastic, just that City lost. And Kobasi are playing better football than even your career. Okay, Kobasi, all right. They're saying Kobasi is even better than Carragher. The funny thing is that he insulted Prophet and his GOAT, Ronaldo. In fact, Prophet, fire him for us. Before the Arsenal game, I knew Kudus was strong, but hey, did you see what he did to Gabriel? Sicho highlighted that. Gabriel literally bodied him, but Abosia Kaimacho did not move. Yo, Prophet Danny and Dr. Sicho, how did you see Ghana ahead of the qualifiers? The names the titles is handing to you before. I don't understand. Pacino, thanks for your message. This one says, sorry, but Charlie, the first thing that came to mind when you appeared on the screen this evening was you forcing Chicho to apologize for saying Chelsea's project was a joke on game plans some weeks ago. I'm glad Chicho stood his ground that day because he know they go well right there.
Boy, you know how you know.
And it says, about Carragher, though, is strange because he's come to explain himself. But if you consider the specific Ballon d'Or Mo Salah is being tipped to win, there wouldn't be a World Cup, there wouldn't be Euros during that period, but he's used that as a point still, some way, right? The Ballon d'Or we are talking about would be this year's. This year, there's no Euros, there's no World Cup, there's no AFCON. How did AFCON somehow find its way into Jamie Carragher's mouth as a point that could potentially count against Salah? Your guess is as good as mine.
AFCON this year.
Yeah, but it's at the end of the cycle.
But no, the Ballon d'Or would happen before the AFCON, even.
Yeah.
The Ballon d'Or is done in season.
It's season now.
Yeah, exactly.
AFCON will be next.
The AFCON starts December 18.
18.
I'm told the Ballon d'Or would have been done by then or something like that. So I've got more messages. But what I want to do right now is get into that issue since you mentioned it. First up, though, we want to talk about Manchester City against Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, he scored and set up another goal. That is the 11th time Mohamed Salah has scored and set up a goal in the same match this season. 11 times. Guess what? In the entire career of Eden Hazard, he has scored and assisted in the same game only 10 times. This season alone, Salah has done it 11 times. Anyway, let's take a look at the highlights first from the Etihad. We'll come back here with all the adjoining issues from that game. Look at this. 2024-25 season, 27 games, 41 goal involvements. This is crazy what he's doing this season, Mohamed Salah. And so there is a conversation that Salah should win the Ballon d'Or per the season he's having. There's no other player anywhere in the world that's having a season remotely close to the season he's having. Who is it? Mbappe? Vinicius? Bellingham? In England, no one comes close. Not a single player comes close. In Spain, maybe only Real Madrid players. The Barca players.
Rafinha.
Rafinha's having a good season too. Fair enough. And then, who else? Germany?
You see the issue, right?
Really? There isn't a single player, it appears, that is having the kind of season that Salah is having. Guys, forget about the game. They've opened an 11-point lead. It's unassailable. Fair enough, we've seen crazier things happening in football.
Oh, just don't get.
But this is not going to happen. It's unassailable. Wonderful game. Sicho, you get your top marks. Big fan of Sloto. He did it again with 34% possession. He doesn't care. He won.
No, but wait. You see, the issue here is, you see, those times, this thing. Do you guys ever play this game, catch and beat? Or police and thief, where you have to chase somebody? Arsenal can't chase. They can't chase. That's the issue. Like, we've seen them on top.
Yeah.
They can't run faster than you chase. Now you are chasing to you can't chase.
They can't run like
Didn't they say they are better at chasing than leading?
No, but this is bad. Like, Charlie, it's in the last week in February, and the Premier League is over.
That's a joke, isn't it?
Liverpool have been trying so hard to make it competitive. They've dropped some at low points.
They try.
But still.
Charlie, no lie.
Is this one of the poorest Premier League seasons we've had maybe in the last 10
in terms
years,
of the title
maybe?
race?
In terms of the competition, not to cast a slight on Liverpool at all, but in terms of the chasing part, it just looks like everybody else has been really bad. Liverpool have been good.
The last time we saw something close to this was when Ole was chasing Pep.
Ole was chasing Pep. Mourinho was chasing Pep as well at one point.
They were closer to the top 4 race.
Yeah, than to the champion.
Yeah, because Liverpool have run away with it, and that's credit to Liverpool, but the rest of the teams.
It's not the best. But on the subject matter, let's not run away from what you asked.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. The issue is branding. You see what he was saying? He said in Spain, Real Madrid players. It's the aura.
Yeah.
But in terms of actual numbers, Rafinha is having a better season than Mbappe. He is. He's scoring, he's creating chances, he's assisting, big goals, big games. He's there. Think about the biggest games, the biggest wins that Barca have had this season. Rafinha has had his stamp all over it. But some way, somehow, he's not being talked about because he just lacks the aura. And you see, for me, look, you might think it's a joke, but it's true. Aura. Once they are human beings going to vote, your name, your persona has to carry some aura to stick in the minds of those who are going to vote. Fantasy City was doing a short list. He forgot about Rafinha. He has to be reminded. So imagine somebody who is going to vote. First person he's thinking about is Salah, Mbappe. But you, Rafinha, who is doing probably better than Mbappe this season.
He's had 20 goal involvements in La Liga.
In La Liga? Mm-hmm. But in all competitions.
Mbappe has 17 goals, 3 assists. Rafinha has 13 goals, 7 assists.
But in all competitions, Rafinha is ahead.
Probably.
Yeah. And in all competitions...
How many goals has Rafinha scored in the Champions League? Mbappe has 7.
5, maybe.
Mbappe has 7.
Yeah. So
he has 8 Champions League goals, 8 appearances, 8 goals, 4 assists in the Champions League.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's more than Mbappe.
Mbappe has 7 goals somewhere there.
That's crazy. And see, my issue is, it will all come down to the human factor. It's human beings who vote. As well as Salah is doing this season, once he's competing with Kylian Mbappe, he's already at a disadvantage. Because to be frank, and I was asking Situ this question before we came on. Imagine the numbers were flipped. Nobody will mention Salah's name.
Yeah.
If Mbappe had the numbers Salah had at this point in time, and Salah had Mbappe's numbers, nobody will be talking about Salah for Ballon d'Or. But Salah is in the race for Ballon d'Or. Mbappe is closely behind, or even in some people's heads, Mbappe is ahead of him. Because he's Mbappe. Like, the team you play for, the aura, the marketing, all these things are important when it comes to Ballon d'Or in 2025.
Let me flip this for you. If Mbappe was at Liverpool with Salah's numbers and Salah was at Real Madrid with Mbappe's numbers, who do you think would be favored?
You see, that one too, we need to look at dynamics.
Yeah, Mbappe. The contest will be different.
Yeah, I think it'll be different.
Mbappe has been built
for this. Yeah,
he's been built as a Ballon d'Or winner since it was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Right from Monaco, they're like
this is about
Ronaldo and Messi.
The aura has followed him since.
So, what you were saying means that there is a lot about the individual player as well. And not just the team or the league he plays with alone, even though those also count.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting point.
And
so you're saying that Liverpool have not marketed themselves to be a team that produces Ballon d'Or winners?
Look, let me even give you this quick example. When Hazard was going to Real Madrid, remember the aura around that move?
Yeah.
100 million, this guy has finished it in the Premier League. Imagine Hazard got half of the numbers that Salah has been getting.
Yeah.
It would easily have been on the lips of everyone for a Ballon d'Or. Look, marketing is very, very important. It is the reason why Messi will sleep the entire season, score one free kick, do some dazzling performance, and all of a sudden, there are write-ups about him winning a Ballon d'Or. That's the aura. Like, it's...
And the branding.
And the branding.
I have a question for you. What is potentially counting against the brand of Mohamed Salah? According to Jamie Carragher, the AFCON is one of the things that counts against him because he plays for Egypt, and he says because so it's his nationality. Even forget about AFCON. He says it is his nationality. He plays for Egypt, who would not do well at the World Cup. And even if they were to win the AFCON, by virtue of the fact that it is the AFCON, it counts for very little. Is that what it is that is counting against Salah? Or this is a stretch by Jamie Carragher?
It's generally an annoying truth. It is generally an annoying truth. And I'm going to go into it. Truth of the matter is that those who vote for the Ballon d'Or, we are looking at, especially for the journalists, we are looking at, on the FIFA ranking, top 100 countries that are in there. They've got one rep from each country as a journalist voting for them. That list is largely dominated by European countries. Straight away, those from the African bloc are disadvantaged. Straight away. So that's a fact. Secondly, when you win the AFCON, right, it hasn't necessarily given any player the leverage to be counted better than another player who has played in Europe. And these are facts. That's what I'm saying. It's an annoying truth. What Jamie Carragher said that I disagree with is when he says, or when he tries to say, the AFCON is not a major tournament. The AFCON is every continental tournament is a major tournament. But then you can now start comparing Europe's major tournament and Africa's major tournament. Which one is bigger? They certainly are not the same when you look at the numbers. So you can go into those comparisons.
What numbers are we looking at?
Oh, you're looking at revenue, you're looking at coverage, you're looking at a lot of things. You're looking
is that what defines quality or best, though?
No, it counts. It's part of it.
Count.
It counts. It does count. Yeah. But you see, when it comes to continental tournaments, nobody in Europe can tell Africans or can tell anybody in the world how Africans feel about their AFCON.
Yeah.
It is my Ghana playing. It means more to me than when England are playing the Euros. I cannot explain how an Englishman feels about the Euros. I can't explain how a Colombian feels about the Copa America. So when Jamie Carragher tries to pretend to understand what it means for those playing in the CONMEBOL or the Oceanic competition,
or what is big or what's not big.
What is big or what is not big? It is misplaced.
Yeah.
Because Ghana didn't go to the AFCON and I'm saying that Keto Kriku has failed us. Because Ghana didn't go. That is what it means, because I'm a Ghanaian. The AFCON means so much to me. If you go to Europe, it does so. But the reason I say it's annoyingly the truth is that when these people have voted for or are voting for these awards, the AFCON, to be frank, it has counted for little.
And my problem, I don't understand why. Is it an issue of, look, Sicho mentioned some of the factors, maybe television revenue, viewership numbers, whatever. There were over 2.2 billion digital interactions with the last AFCON.
Yeah.
It was a record. It grew by 625% from the last AFCON. It's certainly growing. AFCON is certainly, if not the most difficult continental competition to win. And it is premised on the evidence of the ones that have won it or not won it in the last few years. And you take the African countries that have done superbly at the World Cup and their performances at the AFCON. Morocco is a good example. They went all the way to the World Cup semi-finals. The AFCON just before that World Cup, they didn't even make the quarterfinals. And they had the same squad. But they simply got picked out by very unfancy teams. So in terms of difficulty level, and we play games, they increase the level, like the difficulty levels. AFCON is incredibly competitive, incredibly hard to win.
Look,
so if anyone wins it, they deserve the credit. Sicho says that might be the case. Unfortunately, the people that make these decisions just don't see it like that. Why? Why don't they see it like that?
Friends, again, I will come down to aura.
No.
Let me laugh.
Let me say. When we were playing FC 25, there are only 2 African countries in it. Like even game.
Yes.
Game. There are only two, Morocco and Ghana.
Yeah.
Morocco and Ghana in it.
Do you know there's no Nigeria?
There's no Nigeria in it. No,
there's no Cote d'Ivoire.
Look, friends, let me ask you this question. When you look at this, I made the example in terms of footballers, the numbers they are churning out, and yet you clearly forgot somebody existed, but somebody is firmly imprinted in your mind. When they say Copa America is going to start, who are you looking forward to? 2 teams. Mention the 2 teams for me.
Brazil, Argentina.
Quick.
World Cup winners, history, pedigree, big teams.
Standard.
So there are 2. The rest, nobody really cares about them. But Brazil and Argentina, they carry that aura around the competition.
Ballon d'Or contenders are playing in.
You get it? If Argentina wins the Ballon d'Or, that's a football nation with history, pedigree across the world. It's not just about Copa America. So wherever you are, you stand still and pay attention to Argentina. Pay attention to Brazil. Unfortunately for AFCON, who are the big teams you look forward to? Don't look at it from an African point of view. Global. Take yourself outside the continent and look
into it. If I'm in Europe and they say there's AFCON, I want to see Egypt and Salah, obviously.
You want to see Egypt and Salah, but
because
it is
Liverpool fan.
Thank you. It is because of what the guys have done.
Not because Egypt have come to the World Cup and shown you level.
We've not done enough on the global scene.
So we don't have global credit.
We don't have global credit. We don't have global aura. When people talk about Cameroon today, you still think back to Eto'o. If people talk about Cote d'Ivoire, you still think back to Didier Drogba. Like, we don't have that consistent pedigree over the years. Like, when you're talking about Brazil, you can go from Pelé to Garrincha to Socrates to Zico to... It keeps going. Every generation gives you a genuine superstar. When you go to Argentina, the same thing. When you go to... And you see, unfortunately, I always say this thing, and it cuts across. It's not just in sports. When it comes to, there's a certain group of people who run affairs. So you can't sit in your corner and shout that they are not paying attention to you. You need to understand the space and then work around it. Yeah. It's like sitting in Ghana and saying that your music is better, so why aren't you not getting a Grammy? You are not the one giving the Grammy. You don't set the questions. The Europeans are the ones who give out the Ballon d'Or. It's what? It's the UEFA Ballon d'Or. You can't sit here.
It's the UEFA Ballon d'Or. A few years ago, it was limited to only European players.
Exactly.
No, yes.
And you see, we are talking about...
AFCON counts for nothing, really.
And it shouldn't be, but just that's how it is. Because the top countries on this continent, they're talking about 4-time winners Ghana. Ghana has gone to the World Cup. The best we've done is a quarterfinal. Nigeria have won, 3 AFCONs. The best they've done is a round of 16. It took 2022 for the world to see an African country in a semi-final. Like, it's not good enough. And when you look at South America, Uruguay has won a World Cup. Argentina has won a World Cup. Brazil has won a World Cup. Colombia has reached the last stages of a World Cup. Like, so they have that. They are not plenty, but there's the quality and the pedigree around it will immediately demand attention. Until African countries start doing well at the world stage consistently, like if we had 2 African countries in the quarterfinal, pushing the teams all the way, reaching semi-finals consistently, at least, let me say, back-to-back World Cups, then the world will start paying attention to it. Because other than that, I always say it, at the last AFCON, before we went to the competition, if you were reading the write-ups and things from the European press, they were looking forward to seeing players they knew, not countries.
No, for sure.
Oh, Kudus plays for West Ham, so let's see how he does with Ghana. Salah is going to play for Egypt, so let's see.
Every preview has to link the players to their
To the
clubs.
Premier League.
No, that's the
But
most.
when you read the write-ups for the Copa America, do you see that?
When you rank in intercontinental competition, not intercontinental, continental competitions. So let's take out the World Cup and then rank the rest of the continental competitions. Are you saying that the undisputed number 1, as we all know, is the Euros?
Yeah.
It's just as big. It's nearly as big as the World Cup. It's huge. After that, you're saying Copa America should rank a firm second?
No, I'm saying...
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm saying...
If we take out...
According to the numbers consistently, it
Copa
is Euros,
America ranks-
AFCON, Copa America. But
in terms of
according to
viewership
optics, according to optics and the general feel, it is Euros, Copa America. Copa America is their number 2, but they don't have the numbers to back it. So it
there are
depends
also
on...
very few countries, to be fair.
No, yeah, they are very few countries.
It depends on the question you are asking. Are you talking about hard evidence as to which one is
or
better?
the global
of
feel,
football,
the global feel about
the quality of competition, all the stuff, television.
but
Copa America can't even play the competition.
The Copa America, to be fair, is also very hard.
Very, very difficult.
You know how long it
I'm
took?
not saying it's not.
No, it is very difficult. Like,
How
you know
long
how
it
long
took
it took for Argentina
to win?
to just win it so that Messi can be okay. Like, it is...
So the disrespect, so we are in agreement that disrespect is uncalled for. Unfortunately, the value of the AFCON's contribution to the Ballon d'Or, Jamie, is spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying that it's annoyingly true.
Yes.
It's an annoying truth.
Did you watch the last Asian Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a super
in Qatar.
super
Yeah, it was
competition.
massive.
Proper competition.
yeah,
Very difficult
yeah,
to win.
yeah.
But nobody cares. Do you know why? Because when they go to the World Cup,
Nothing.
they don't do anything. Nobody's watching there.
Interesting. This debate will go on. Let me know what you think as well. Your messages are flooding in, and I've got them here. Fifi Aite, my good friend, says, JB should keep quiet. The AFCON 1957 started 3 years earlier than the Euros, which started in 1960. They just don't respect our tournament, but I blame CAF. Interesting. What's CAF's role in all of this as well? Is it a marketing issue? The CAF Twitter handle has been going ballistic since that story came out. Jamie Carragher has tried to explain himself. I really am not interested in his explanation, to be honest. But yeah, maybe if we have time, we'll read it. But keep your message coming. The number is on your screen, 0551 575757. I will take a short break. When we come back, I will have Danny K go to the screen with Guinness Match Day, show us what is prepared for us. Karim will come in for Ghanaian players abroad. And then we will take you to Spain and Italy. So we've still got a whole 30 minutes left on the show. So just stick with us. This is Sports Zone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. This is Sports Zone on the Joy Prime. See, these are live videos from my village, okay? Guys, these are live videos from my live images from my village, Vanboy, in the Upper West region. FC Basel were kind enough to donate this warm-up kit. Sicho, look at how beautiful those are. Look at that. Oh, man, I missed the village. FC Basel were kind enough to donate some jerseys to us. So we sent them to the village. And I don't know why they're wearing them with the tags on. It's like,
No, they just
you
give
don't
it to
own
them.
Just take them off. They belong to you. Football with the cows. Yes, Danny K. If you behave, I can give you one of those cows.
Like you set me for this. Charlie, calm it.
When we go for the competitions, one of those cows that will catch and kill and enjoy that. But I'm really happy to see that kids having fun in this case. They look beautiful. And especially with the Hamatan and the cold, this is really nice for them, you know.
Yeah.
So very happy. the village folks had a whole meeting just to welcome. Look at, I see my grandfathers in there, my grand uncles, all of them. That's Kaba. I see.
Which one is Kaba?
Yeah, Kaba is the one in the white over there in the middle.
in the middle.
Yes, that's him. All of them are my grandfathers, all of them. Isn't this beautiful? This is nice.
Beautiful.
Anyway, so, yeah, Van Boy KG/primary school. This is a school, so we have to go and do something. Oh, but we've roofed the school. It's not a school under tree. This one is
During your time,
tree under tree.
Baller. This boy is a baller.
There are girls in there.
The boy is a baller. No, the one holding the ball.
Hey,
play ball.
Charlie.
What is he? Oh, no, the head. N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante.
So thank you to FC Basel. Thank you to all the teachers at Van Boy KG Primary School and all the community members as well for that. We're very grateful to FC Basel. But by the way, if you're watching this and we need footballs, okay? So FC Basel were kind enough to donate jerseys. Now we need footballs. So if you have footballs, you can donate to us. Please bring them to me. I'll take them to my village. Look at how happy the kids look. Look at our football boots. This is what the GFA, these people are the ones the GFA should be giving the boots to.
No professional clubs.
Let me ask you a question.
You mean the cows? You want the cow?
Danny says he's far away from me, but he wants me to ask you a question.
Is it what?
Say you want chop MP, Anna.
Oh, I want
question.
Okay, what are you doing?
Honorable.
But look, listen, guys, we're looking for footballs, other stuff, sent to them, So
you can't play
I'm
a
doing my
football
bit.
competition without balls.
Balls. Listen, guys, I'm doing my bit. What
Proud
are you
son.
doing?
Proud son.
Will you buy us balls?
You want balls?
Give me 2 balls.
No problem. Ready.
The football is all about
ball.
I'll give you balls. I'll give you balls if that is what you want. I'll give you balls.
Let me read a couple more messages. Listen, the show is partly brought to you by Piva. Piva is now all over Tumu as a result of this show. So Piva, they said the people in Tumu, all of them drink Piva now. Hey, Benai, what are people doing? Hey, what is all this? Hey, the people have taken me off the screen.
Oh!
They hate my village. I don't understand what is happening.
That's where we've reached.
But let me read. Now they've gone back to my village again.
No, they should show me the baller. I want to see the baller.
It's coming.
I want to see the baller.
Where's the boy?
That boy is going to be... N'Golo Kante.
The boy in the middle.
N'Golo Kante.
Right.
What a baller. Player.
This is where I grew up, Daniki. This is where I grew up. You see the wood behind? That's firewood. You leave it there, yeah. And the cows.
Danny, you don't know firewood.
I think he's saying the thing like I don't know.
He uses gas. He uses gas.
to play along. He said that
he uses gas. He uses gas. He doesn't understand firewood.
Firewood you see for Nigerian movies now, but I don't think you can shoot.
All right, guys. Let's move it on. It's over. All over. All right. Thank you, Daniki, for that. Up next, Karim with Ghanaian players abroad. But let me read a few messages while we wait for him to come and take over his segment. This message says, Chelsea are struggling because they don't have any experienced players. Okay, I think I've read that message. There's one here. This is, okay, that earlier message was from Mo from Leeds, the one that said that Sicho, he was happy that you stood your grounds, Mo, who's watching us all the way from Leeds. So thank you for that message. Leeds.
England Leeds.
Yeah. The show is streaming on YouTube. Yeah, so Awahamvich from Gleifid, and someone says, greetings to you guys.
It's not from Ukraine or Russia or something.
Awahamvich. Greetings to you guys. I trust Chelsea will bounce back nicely. Greetings to Roderick and all ransom teachers. Good evening, fans. This message says, there is no plan in Chelsea's play and there's no assurance that this team will jail some years later because there's no proper planning in terms of player recruitment. I blame the owners and the so-called 2 sporting directors for poor planning and bad recruitment. For the coach, the least I say about him, the better. The owners should sell the team to those who are serious. Mrs. Fortunate, inside I have forgot, says...
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, my boss. I hope you guys are doing well. My husband and I are enjoying your show. He's a Barca fan. Well, I'm a Madrid fan, but trust me, Barcelona will lose tomorrow. I don't know how I got married to a Barcelona fan. But this is fortunate. That is unfortunate. Pumaya from Tamale said, good evening, my beloved. Chelsea is killing me slowly. I just hope that they turn it around very quickly. Maresca should be sacked if he doesn't win the next 4 games, okay? This message said, good evening, guys. Good job always. You know what? Chelsea will not be informed until they go in for goal-scoring strikers. Madrid said it about goals. Chelsea lost out in all the games when the teams push all the good and old players away. Okay, stay blessed. Karim and Ghanaian players abroad. Karim all the way. Franklin Kaswa. On our notes, we will go to Karim then. You want Karim? You got Karim. Karim, today you've been getting way too many fans. I don't know. Sicho is suggesting that, Danike is suggesting that you've been sending the text yourself and adding different names to give yourself fans. How are you? How's it going?
No, I just want to, sometimes it's not that you don't know the thing. You know it, but you just want confirmation from the source. So just confirm or deny.
I said it.
You said it.
Is it true?
That can't be true. I don't control how the messages come to him. So I can't be the one sending the messages. And it is their names attached to those messages. Why is he not reading?
You can add a
I mean, you can say Barnabas, then you say Titus, then you say Kukwa.
He said names are attached to the list. People are really attached. ID cards are fake. NSS names.
No, no, the question is...
Oh, NSS. They have fake names attached to it. They are talking about text messages. Can't carry back.
Wait,
Sicho, it's okay.
Where you go carry that?
We beg.
you always want...
Karim, please take it away. We need to show people some La Liga action. All right.
All right, Iñaki Williams, he scored his first goal in 12 games for Athletic Club, and they won amazingly. That is 7-1 against Real Valladolid. That is the team Joseph Edu plays for on loan. And if you are losing 7-1, it means that, Charlie, things go well. You are going on relegation like that. And if you are looking at the whole season of Iñaki Williams, it is fairly of a season of a standard. After about 25 games into the La Liga season, he has 5 goals. In those 25 games, if he's scoring 5 goals, it means that he needs 402 minutes to score a single goal. 30 more games to the end of the season. The whole of last season, he did 10. Maybe he needs 110 to kickstart his goal scoring run again. That is the international break. He will come back. He won't do anything. But when he goes back, it is...
He always scores after.
Yes. When he comes for the international break and he goes back, he does well, a lot. He does a lot well. So if you're looking at the 5 goals he scored at his club, that is Athletic Club, that is his ranking number 3, behind Gruzeta and Berenguer and Sunset. So they have more goals than him in his club. Then assists, he has 6 after those 25 games in La Liga, and that is ranking him first in his team. And if you are looking at the whole of La Liga, he's second only behind Lamine Yamal. Then if you are looking at goals and assists for him this season, at his club, that's his second only to Sunset, and that is high for him, 13 goals and assists this season. And if you are looking at big chances created, there's no one doing that better than him at Athletic Club this season. Then there's one player I want to look at, Ibrahim. Zubair Ibrahim. He used to play for in Faisal, then Ghana under 20. Now he plays for Partizan Belgrade, that is in Serbia. Over the weekend, they played against Red Star Belgrade, and in that game, he scored for them with a very nice goal. That is applying a lot of force there. Shot the ball, the goalkeeper saved it, and he went to tap in the biggest against the biggest team of the season. The biggest team in Serbia, that is Red Star Belgrade. And if you are looking at his entire season, after 21 games, he joined Partizan this summer. After 21 games, he has scored 8 goals and provided 3 assists. the entire season, including cup competitions, he has 9 goals. Now, let me look at the team of the week. Again, I have Lawrence Atizigi in goal, and I have seen you going through a lot of debates under the posts you've made about him this weekend. But I won't talk about that. Next week, I'll prepare a whole lot of presentation and come and talk about Lawrence Atizigi and his goal conceded. Again, they played against Basel. That is one of the best teams in the Swiss league, and they drew that game. That is St. Gallen. They drew that game 2-2. And the 6 shots he has faced in that game saved 4 of them. And that was the 6 shots he faced in that game, in addition to what he has faced this season. That is 114 shots he has faced this season, only after 25 games in the Swiss Super League. If you are looking at the whole of last season, that was shots on target. In the Premier League, David Raya was a goalkeeper with the most clean sheets. That is a golden glove for him. He faced just 69 shots after about more than 30 games. And after just 25 games in the Swiss Super League, Lawrence Atizigi has faced 114 shots. That is ranking number 4 in the Swiss Super League in terms of shots faced. Next week, I'll talk more about him. But today, he has made the team of the week again after conceding 2 goals. There were other goalkeepers like Joseph Anamba. They didn't do well. Razak Abalora also did well for his club, but didn't compare to what Atizigi did. Now, although he scored his first goal of the season for Royal Antwerp, and they drew 2-2 against OH Leuven, that is in Belgium, and he scored his first goal for them. Then Kasim Adams, he plays for Servette now, also in the Swiss Super League, and in that game, he was the player that has completed the most passes of all players in that game. Then Joseph Atamalawe, last week, he played as a right back. We know how versatile he is. He can play as right back, left back, and as a central defender. Today, he's playing as a central defender. Last week, he scored a goal to win a point for them, and this week, that is Kayserispor. They played against Göztepe, that is in the Turkish Super League, and he won the most tackles in that game and won the most duels as well. Then Baba Hassan, he plays for FCSB, that is in the Romanian league, that is Steaua Bucharest, Danny Cranton's team. And in that game, he also scored his first goal of the season for them in that game and started his 8th game actually for them. Thomas Partey featured in the Arsenal game that we were talking about, and in that game, he sent 16 balls into the final third. No, I'm sure there are about only 2 or 3 players that have done more in that game, and of the 84 passes he attempted, he misplaced only 6 of them. And then Abu Francis plays for Cercle Brugge, and they drew against Kortrijk 1-1. And in that game, he was the player that has won the most tackles and they created about 3 chances in that game as well. Then Iñaki Williams has spoken about him. Then Mohamed Kudus, you did a whole lot of work on him. In the game, Arsenal lost to West Ham. In that game, he won the most fouls. So this is the team of the week.
Yeah, anyway. So that's our show for tonight. Thank you very much, Sicho. Thank you, Danny K. As usual, thank you to our sponsors, Piva, Syntex Tank, Guinness, and Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. My name is Fenjo Tahir Fenjo. We appreciate all of your messages. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with us. We're back again next Monday. Until then, do take care. Bye-bye.